Next on Good Morning El Paso.
Probably one of the most violent, gruesome crime scenes I've seen in 35 years of service.
9 people are dead, 18 others injured after a deadly brawl between rival biker gangs. The latest on what led up to the shooting.
Back here at home, police are looking into a brawl in the Union Plaza district downtown. What triggered this fight, which led to shots being fired?
And a new era in the El Paso School District. It will be under the control of elected trustees for the first time in years.
Live, where news comes first. From the Mesilla Valley and Las Cruces to El Paso and the borderland. This is ABC7's Good Morning El Paso.
Well, here's a live look outside at the city this Monday morning. This is from the ABC7 downtown cam.
And you can see the sun is coming up, and it's going to be a bright and sunny day today, and pretty warm too.
Isn't that a nice still shot though?
It is. You know,
no wind there.
Could we be looking at 90 degrees today?
That's a question Crystal will have to answer. But in the meantime, welcome back to Good Morning El Paso. I'm Hillary Floren.
And I'm Stephanie Valle. And we are joined by Crystal right now at 6 o'clock. And Crystal, it's going to be pretty warm but windy today.
Yeah, we have a lot of, will this be changing? Will this be changing later today? And the answer is yes to most of them. We're talking a very warm afternoon. We're looking at winds picking up. And on top of that, we're looking at a little chance of rain moving in. On our clouds and radar map right now, we're not looking at the rain yet. In fact, it's very clear out there to kick off on our map, and those conditions will throughout the next few hours remain on the clear end of things. It's later on this afternoon, particularly into the evening, that we are talking more partly cloudy conditions moving on by, and then with that the slight chance of rain coming in from the south. Now on top of that, we're also looking at temperatures that will be rising. Right now only at 56, but later today we actually will get near 90 degrees. In Las Cruces we're at 48, and we should be well into the 80s later today. Great temperatures, winds picking up, and slight chances of rain. All changes hitting later on, and we'll be talking in more detail about the afternoon changes in just a few minutes.
Okay, looking forward to it, Crystal. Thank you. The El Paso School District is about to enter a new era. Happening today, an elected Board of Trustees will take over the reins from the appointed Board of Managers. Newly elected trustees Al Velarde, Trent Hatch, and Dory Fennenbach will be sworn into office today. The newly elected trustees will join 4 previously elected trustees. They are Bob Jeske, Susie Bird, Diane Dye, and Charles Taylor. The future of the El Paso School District was the topic of ABC7 Extra last night. And for more on that, let's send things over to Good Morning El Paso's Denise Olivas. Hi, Denise.
Good morning, Stephanie. For more than 2 years, the Board of Managers dealt with problems handed down by the past school board. And the Board of Managers left the new trustees a blueprint. So now it's up to the trustees to follow it or not. And one of their first in this new chapter is setting the tax rate. All 3 trustees agreed last night on ABC7 Extra that right now it is too early to talk about a decision on whether the board will go to its taxpayers for an increase. Both the district budget and the tax rate must be approved by the end of June. EPISD is also looking at revamping many of its aging schools and facilities and implementing more technology into the way students learn, of course, costing more money.
At this point, really what's happening is we're getting some training on this budget. They're presenting us the figures. We're going through and we're asking questions. And we're going line by line by line, and we're asking, what is this for? Why is it needed? And we're talking about a $460 million budget.
We're all taxpayers. We're not exempt from paying taxes. So any policy that we put into play impacts us personally. So we're definitely going to look at these items.
The new trustees will be sworn in today at EPISD's central office, of course, before making some of these big decisions for the district and its more than 90 schools. Hillary, back to you.
Thanks so much, Denise.
A very violent crime scene. There were pools of blood, there were streams of blood, there was blood splatter where people were trying to leave the scene that were injured.
One of the most gruesome crime scenes in decades. That's what Waco police are saying after a shootout among rival biker gangs left 9 bikers dead and 18 others injured. This happened yesterday around noon at a Twin Peaks restaurant. Police say the rival gangs had met up to discuss turf and recruitment. We'll have more in-depth coverage of this coming up later in the newscast. Back here in El Paso, 2 men are in custody this morning after police say they fired shots during this brawl you see here. It happened early yesterday morning on the 100 block of Anthony in the Union Plaza downtown. This is video from an ABC7 viewer. According to investigators, the two men who fired tried to get away in a Jeep. Officers then stopped that Jeep and allegedly found 2 guns inside. No one was injured, thankfully. Police have not released any mugshots of the 2 men in custody. New this morning, New Mexico State Police are investigating a deadly shooting involving 2 Ruidoso police officers. This happened early yesterday morning when 2 officers responded to a call of a domestic disturbance. Police spokesman says that the officers entered the home and came into contact with an adult male. Both officers fired their weapons, killing him. A police spokesman says both officers are on administrative leave, which is routine procedure.
The 2 women who died in a car crash Saturday evening have been identified. Now, this happened at US 54 near the state line in northeast El Paso. Police say the women are 57-year-old Elva Ramirez and 58-year-old Irma Ramirez. According to investigators, Elva failed to yield the right-of-way to the driver of another car. That driver wasn't able to stop in time and hit Elva's car. The 4 people riding in that car and 3 people in the other car were injured. Some suffered life-threatening injuries. Police say alcohol was not a factor in the crash. Alert for those of you in central El Paso. Starting today, the Maple Street Railroad crossing along with the Cedar Street crossing will be permanently closed. Now, this is part of the Quiet Zone project, which will allow trains to pass more quietly through neighborhoods. The project will close 4 crossings permanently, including the ones at Birch and at Elm, which comes at a later date. But for now, the Cedar and Maple crossings will be closed today. And at 6:06, taking a look at our traffic cams over on the east side, I-10 in Yarborough, you can see things starting to pick up just slightly as people are heading into town from the far east side, but no problems to tell you about at this point.
Well, new this morning, services just resumed minutes ago for Amtrak, days after that deadly train derailment.
Why the FBI is now looking into whether the train was shot at right before it crashed.
And music's hottest stars gathered for the Billboard Music Awards. Garth Brooks was dethroned as the winningest artist in the show's history. We'll take a look at who took his title.
I think we can guess.
You have a guess? Okay.
I do.
I saw it, so I already know.
But first, can we be in store for any rain chances later tonight?
Let's check in with Crystal for the answer. Good morning.
We are tracking the chance for some rain. We'll discuss with your hourly raincast right after the break.
Thanks, Crystal. This is ABC7, where news comes first.